Hey, guess what's happening on this week's episode of the Beating Diabetes Lifestyle Podcast with your friend and host, Oscar Camejo.
If you're finding it difficult to exercise on a regular basis, listen, you're not alone. According to the American guidelines, there's a suggestion that every person should engage in at least 150 minutes of moderate physical exercise or 75 minutes of energetic exercise each week. This includes muscle strengthening activities twice weekly or more. However, according to the exercise statistics in America, only 23% of those aged 18 through 65 meet these guidelines, and around 32% only meet one of them, and around 45% don't engage in enough physical activity nor enough muscle strengthening activities. Listen, I don't know about you, but when it comes to statistics, you can get confused. The bottom line is not enough of us are exercising and getting our daily exercise in to maintain good, healthy lifestyle. Now, that's a problem. Does that mean you have to be bodybuilding all the time or even become a bodybuilder, trying to work on your physique and all that? No, we're talking about basic exercise that we all need to engage in. You see, oftentimes when people think of losing weight, they either focus on what they should eat or what they shouldn't eat, or they focus just on their exercise. Some people prioritize one thing over the other. Well, I'm here to tell you that healthy eating and regular exercise go hand in hand when it comes to developing a healthy lifestyle. You see, achieving the proper balance between the two approaches is very important. Maintaining a healthy diet is great, but by itself, it may not be enough for you to lose weight and keep it off. The struggle is real for a lot of you, and I know. The same is true for exercising. Don't think that, hey, all I need to do is exercise and I'm good. No, you need to have a good balance between what you eat, what you put in your body, and what you do with your body. So you can spend hours upon hours in the gym burning thousands of calories, or let's say hundreds of calories, but then load up on junk food right after you leave the gym. And eventually you're going to destroy your progress with every junk meal and cheat meal you eat. So come on, folks, we need to stop playing. In today's episode, I'm going to focus primarily on exercise and a little bit on nutrition so that you can focus on and understand the importance of making exercise and nutrition a healthy lifestyle choice and not a short-term fix. So stick around so you can hear the rest of this episode, because in this episode, you're going to learn the benefits of regular exercise and how to develop a realistic regimen. You're also going to receive some practical tips for balancing exercise with nutrition in order to meet your goals. So let's get it. Welcome to the Beating Diabetes Lifestyle Podcast with me, your host, Oscar Camejo, helping diabetics make lifestyle changes to reverse type 2 diabetes. Listen, you may not even have diabetes. You may just be somebody who wants to live a healthy lifestyle. Well, thank you for tuning in to this week's episode. I share weekly tips and ideas and my suggestions on living a healthy lifestyle. Because listen, the goal is to help you, your family, your friends, your loved ones live a focused, fit, and healthy lifestyle so you can feel alive every day. So thank you again for tuning in. So before we go on, I want to share with you a comment that came in from a TikTok follower of mine. Her name is Rye. Rye wrote, I was told that cutting out all of the things you enjoy eating makes it harder to stick to a diet. Is that true? Well, Rye, thank you first of all for sending in this comment. Well, that's true. Simply just cutting out all the things that you like and enjoy, may seem like a short-term fix, but guess what? Long-term, it's not sustainable. Most people can't keep that up. You just, cut out everything that you like, then you go through this period of missing and craving those things that you really enjoy. So I don't believe in wholesale cutting things that you enjoy just for the sake of losing weight and being healthy. Now, here's the balance though. I do recommend that you gradually cut out things that are clearly working against your health and making things worse in your life. If that hot dog or processed food is really hurting your health, then obviously you want to cut those things out. Same thing with sugary drinks, alcohol, sports drinks, any sugary item that's really a problem that really is leading to other diseases and not just weight gain, but I'm talking about chronic illnesses, messing with your digestive health. Obviously, you want to cut those things out. So, yes, I do believe that you should clearly begin working on gradually cutting out things that are definitely working against you. Now, does that mean the occasional slice of cake you should never have? No. I mean, I'm at a point now where, I can have a slice of cake. I don't eat half a cake like I used to, or let's say a brownie. I mean, it took me, a year and a half of not eating a brownie to finally get to the place where I feel healthy and strong, where, I had a brownie the other day and it was good, Now, do I recommend eating a brownie each week as a treat? No, I'm not going to go back to doing that because I don't want to gradually go backwards. So now there are options that I do recommend, a ride that you do, and that is choosing healthier alternatives to the things that you like. Like me, I like brownies, but there are healthier options than the brownies that I used to eat. Same thing with cookies, cake, and stuff like that. So I still don't want you to load up on eating sugary things because it's only going to set you back. Later on in this episode, I'm going to talk about setting realistic goals, even when it comes to health and nutrition. So again, Rai, thank you for your comment. For those of you all who are interested in knowing a little bit about my story, I used to be 268 pounds. I was overweight. I ended up going to the hospital in August 2020. I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes while in the hospital. Found out right there in the hospital that I had type 2 diabetes. It was crazy. It was scary. And up until that point, diabetes was kind of like on the back of my mind because I had been diagnosed pre-diabetic, I want to say in 2018, and I didn't take my health seriously when I was first diagnosed pre-diabetic. And so leading up to my hospital stay, I had gained so much weight just by overeating. I wasn't exercising. And if I did exercise, it would be the occasional walk around my neighborhood, my subdivision at the time. And that was it. There was nothing planned. There was no strategy. There was nothing. I was just existing, working a lot, traveling, and so forth. So one day I found myself 268 pounds, sick, malnourished, eating unhealthy foods every day, fried foods every day, again, not exercising. And it was clear that I had gained weight and I became obese. I looked in the mirror and realized that, you know what? I let myself go. And for so many of you who are listening, that may be your story. Maybe you're not 268 pounds, but you're not at the weight that you should be. You could be dealing with some chronic illnesses. You could be having some issues with your heart, your cholesterol, and some other things going on in your body, and you're concerned. So you heard about this podcast and here you are. So for today, I'm going to give you some overall benefits of exercising as well as some overall benefits of eating healthy. So what I ended up doing in my personal life when I was in the hospital and leaving the hospital, I went to go see my doctor. My doctor told me, we're going to have to put you on meds. We're going to have to monitor you every 3 months, I think 3 to 6 months. I have to get some blood work done. But it's really going to be up to you, sir, to change what you're doing. At the time, there was no discussion at least not from my doctor, about reversing type 2 diabetes. I had never heard of that. I've had friends who've had limbs amputated, had friends to die. So the only thing I knew about diabetes was that once you get it, you're stuck with it. And either you're going to have to be on meds for the rest of your life, long term, or you're going to die from it or have something amputated if you don't, do what's right. And doing what's right at that time was just, I guess, staying on meds and doing your best to maintain a quote unquote Mediterranean diet. That's what I was told. But I had no guidance. It was just, hey, just start eating regularly, eating healthy regularly, exercise as much as you can, and get the weight off of you. They sent me home with a piece of paper from the hospital, and my doctor did the same and said, hey, look, follow this. And no slight on my physician, but most physicians are not trained on health and nutrition, let alone exercise. So they give you a generic statement and they tell you, hey, start eating healthy, get some exercise, but stick to your meds. But there was something inside of me that said, no, there has to be more to it than that. So I started researching, I started reading a lot, and I decided to turn my life around. So this episode of this podcast is a part of a larger series of steps that I took, or a larger series of podcasts where I go through the practical things that I did to really turn things around. So today's episode is going to be focused on exercise and healthy eating, with an emphasis more on exercising, because later on, I'm going to focus on the nutritional aspect in a later episode. So let's get into it. As I said before, what you do with your body and what you put in your body is very important. So here are the overall benefits of exercising, especially for diabetics. And this applies for non-diabetics as well. So exercise helps to lower blood sugar, helps to boost insulin sensitivity, because for diabetics, type 2 diabetes is a result of a lack of sensitivity to insulin. So basically, insulin is not able to do what it needs to do to lower blood sugar, right? So exercise helps to burn fat, obviously, helps to shave pounds, not just, build muscle, but it does help to build muscles. Exercise helps to protect your heart, helps to make you feel and look good, helps you to build strength and endurance. One of the things for me that I realized that kept me from exercising was my breathing. I just was breathing incorrectly. I wasn't breathing correctly because I didn't understand how to breathe through my exercises. So I couldn't make it through a simple 10-minute workout without being gassed. And that's not even doing anything intense. You're talking about walking up and down steps and just being gassed. And just, it was just really crazy at the time. So again, exercise helps to build strength and endurance, helps to work on your cardiovascular health. That's where we're talking about protecting your heart. Now, there's a whole bunch of other benefits to exercising. It affects your nervous system in a positive way. Your blood circulation, gets your heart pumping, and really helps you to build energy and vitality. Exercise even helps you to sleep better. And now let me go into the overall benefits of eating healthy. Now, again, this is not an exhaustive list. This is just some things that overall are beneficial when it comes to eating healthy. Of course, healthy eating gives your body the proper and sufficient nutrients it needs to thrive, because we all want our bodies to thrive, and we need our bodies to thrive and do what it does or need to do when, let's say, we're sick or we're going through just some physical challenges. Our bodies are designed to heal itself. As a matter of fact, I just got over food poisoning. And I 100% believe that my recovery was short because I have been living a healthy lifestyle of eating healthy food on a daily basis, exercising, and maintaining a good balance between exercising and eating. When I say I felt like I was down for the count for a couple of days, but I was still able to be mobile. I wasn't laid up in bed with the food poisoning, and my symptoms were minimal as compared to years ago when I had food poisoning. This wasn't the first time I've had food poisoning, but I'm grateful that I was able to bounce back after 3 days of doing whatever I needed to do to make sure that I was still eating properly. I never lost my appetite, despite having food poisoning. Okay, so here's some more benefits of eating healthy. Helps to prevent disease, helps you lose weight and keep it off, is good for your digestion, is good for your heart health and maintaining good cardiovascular health. It provides greater energy, same thing like with exercise. It helps you sleep better. So hopefully you're seeing a pattern here where exercising and healthy eating go hand in hand, right? So you shouldn't place priority over one versus the other. You should really prioritize good exercise and healthy eating. You see, but for the rest of today's episode, I want to focus primarily on exercise. And like I said before, I do have a future episode where I'll focus on nutrition and healthy eating. Because I can talk about both topics all day. I mean, I meet people at the gym, at the grocery store, wherever, at work, and talk to people at work and at the grocery store, at church, and, online. People want to know, how do I maintain a healthy lifestyle? And I always talk about maintaining a healthy balance. So in any case, let's move on. Now, when it comes to exercise, the challenge that many people face, in my opinion, is that they don't have a plan when it comes to exercise. You see, they pull up a random video on YouTube or something they found on social media, or maybe somebody sent them by text message. They try it, and guess what? They feel great for the moment. And then it's like, okay, what do I do next? I can't tell you the number of times going into the gym when I first started. This is back in June 2021 when I first was going into the gym. I had no plan. So I know what I'm talking about. I had no plan. I just remember from back in the day, okay, you're supposed to work on upper body, then lower body, and do some ab work. And that was it. That was kind of like the only thing that I knew about exercise, right? But you know what? That's not the end all be all. It's not just, okay, work upper body, then lower body, then work on the core and do something else. I mean, there has to be a lot more regimentation, in my opinion, when it comes to exercise. You see, when I go into the gym, and when I started going into the gym, I would see all these machines. And it's one thing, you're trying to figure out how these machines work and which one am I supposed to work on. And then you end up getting frustrated. So I remember started biking. I like mountain bike. I like mountain bikes. So I would go and, go into the woods sometimes and go on a trail. So that was good. I do that every now and then. Matter of fact, I need to get my bike fixed. One of the pedals is messed up. So if you know anybody who fixes mountain bikes here in Atlanta, hit me up. Okay. In any case, but my point is, it was just this random shot that I was making, these random shots. And it's like, okay, do I go to the gym today? If I go to the gym today, hey, it's Tuesday or Wednesday. Let me see. What am I going to do today? Well, I guess, I walk on the treadmill, or, maybe not. I'll try something, try lifting some weights. Okay, what do I do? Machine weights or do I do free weights? I mean, what is a deadlift? You know what I mean? So it's just this random approach, and I was getting frustrated, and I was like, nah, there has to be something better that I could do. So I'm gonna tell you exactly what I started doing back then, and it's helped me to lose over 80 pounds to date. But before I get into that, I want to encourage you not to be random when it comes to your exercise. I want you to be a lot more focused. Now, what is it that I want you to focus in on? I want you to focus on your FIT. That's an acronym, FIT. It's an acronym. It's an acronym for frequency, intensity, and time. Again, FIT, FIT, frequency, intensity, time. And for those three things, I want you to think about gradually increasing your frequency, gradually increasing your intensity, and gradually increasing your time of exercise as you progress. When I first started in the gym, I know the first day that I started following a program, there was a program that I started. It was a free program. I'm going to let you know about it in a little bit. But the first day I started working that program, I think I was supposed to only work out for 20 to 30 minutes. And I was gassed. I was like, oh my gosh, this just felt like like my chest was just going to explode, right? It felt very intense. The program said that this was going to last for, the program was going to last for 6 weeks, I think it was. And it told me exactly how much frequency I needed to, it gave me the frequency, going to the gym or working out, because I could either work out at the gym or at home or just wherever I have some open space. So it talked about frequency. It talked about the intensity. It gave me options. This program also said, okay, for each exercise, you're going to be doing either 30 seconds or you're going to do a minute or 45 seconds of whatever routine it was, right? So again, there was a frequency. It was a clear frequency, basically how often, the intensity, how much, and over how much time each exercise was going to take, right? Again, gradually increase as you progress. Now, let's move on. I want you to get used to moving and working on your mobility and flexibility. That's one thing that was clear. Most people don't move enough. Most people are not mobile enough. Most people are not flexible enough. And I say most, but when you talk about when only 23% of people in America are really exercising, that tells me that you have a whole lot of people who are not mobile, who are not flexible, and they're not used to moving. They're sedentary. They drive an hour and some change to work. They get to work. And once they start working, they're sitting down for 6 to 7 hours a day in front of a computer or whatever their job is. So they're sitting down a lot. And then you sit down when you're driving home or you're on the train or you're in an Uber or whatever, however you commute back and forth to work. You're immobile. You're just sitting down for so many hours. And then on top of that, you get home and you want to relax. So what do you normally do? Let's say if you picked up food on the way home, you then do what? You sit down and you eat. After you eat, what do you most likely do after you load the dishwasher or whatever you do after dinner? You sit down and watch TV, or maybe you read a book or whatever you do, right? So think about your own life. How much sitting are you doing on a regular basis? Take inventory of that. So my point is, I want you to get used to moving. When I'm in the gym now, I'm usually in the gym for about a minimum of an hour and a half. From the time I set foot in the gym, I'm always moving. What do I mean by that? Even when I'm resting in between a rep or resting in between a set or a round, I am not sitting down. I don't stand still. I'm literally, I keep moving. I literally keep moving. For an hour and a half, I never stop. I rest by moving. What I mean by that, for example, Let's say if I'm doing some plyometrics or I am lifting some weights. After I finish that round or that circuit, whatever I'm doing, whatever I'm training on, I'm not standing still. I take a sip of my electrolyte drink, but I walk from one end of the gym to the next. I have this routine where wherever my mat or my section is, I walk from there to the other end of the gym. I touch this glass, this window, and I come back. I see what my next routine is, and I get right into it. Anybody who sees me at the gym knows I do the same thing. It's rare for me to sit down. It's rare for me to not be moving. The only times where I'm sitting down is if if the sitting down is a part of my next routine. Or if I stop moving, is maybe I'm having a conversation with somebody at the gym. I have some gym buddies and stuff like that. So, sometimes they'll come up and we'll talk, but I'm constantly moving. I had Oscar. That's what Oscar had to do. And that's what I do. The reason why I did that is because I realized I was so sedentary. I was not moving a lot. And so I would have joint pain in my knee, inflammation in my knees. I used to work out with knee braces. I don't have to wear knee braces at all anymore. I'm constantly moving. And so my endurance, my cardiovascular health is so great now. I feel so energetic when I go to the gym. Not because I pop some energy pills, I'm drinking some energy sports drink. No, I naturally have lots of energy when I'm in the gym. Even if I go in tired and exhausted from work or whatnot, by the time I get going in the gym, I'm good. And that's because I've built up the habit of being mobile. So my point is, I want you to get used to being mobile, getting used to being flexible, even if you're stretching in between your workouts or whatnot. Now, I know that seems kind of simple, but I want you to get used to moving. Don't get used to being sedentary. Don't get used to just sitting down after each rep. Now, here's the balance to that. I'm not saying you do this right off the bat. You may be a certain weight and you may have to take a break and sit down. If you have to do that, don't feel bad about it. Go ahead and sit down. Take a breather, work on your breathing exercises and so forth, right? But I want you to gradually, remember we're talking about your fit, focus on your frequency, your intensity, and your time. These are things that you can grow and progress to, right? So you may only able to walk 10 minutes on the treadmill and then get off and sit down, right? Because your heart is just, your heart is a muscle. So you have to develop that heart muscle. I get it. Okay. So don't feel bad because you see somebody else, running 50 miles an hour on the treadmill and they're like, like Superman or Superwoman. Forget about the person next to you. The most important person that's in the gym right now is you, because you're working on your health. You're not working on anybody else's health. So be encouraged. Okay. Stay focused, keep moving, never go back. I do want you to set a goal of at least 150 minutes a week of exercise. Now, you may think 150 minutes, man, that's a lot of time in the gym. Well, just think about it. You're going to work your way up to that. Remember, that's a goal. So that equates to roughly 5 days of some type of exercise. That is roughly 30 minutes. Does that mean every exercise has to be 30 minutes long? I'm not saying that, but what I do want you to do is hit a target goal of 150 minutes a week of exercise, some form of exercise to keep you going. Remember, you're building your frequency, your intensity, and your time. Eventually, 30 minutes is going to look like nothing. Now, when I go to the gym, 30 minutes, I feel like I haven't done anything. I feel like I'm just warming up after 30 minutes, but it wasn't like that before. After 10 minutes, I was like ready to go home, pack it up and go get a burger and call it quits. And that was early on. So you may feel the same way sometimes. So in any case, here are some exercises to get you moving. Aerobic exercises, biking, hiking, walking, dancing, jumping rope, running or jogging, tennis, swimming, golfing, and even the row machine. These are just, again, a few exercises to get you going. So, however you want to spread your 150 minutes throughout the week, think about what's realistic for you. Can you find 30 minutes a day for 5 days? Does that mean Monday through Friday? Not necessarily. You may do Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, and a Sunday. Or you may do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Or you may do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, skip Thursday, do Friday and Saturday. It really depends on your schedule. My point is you need to, and I'm strongly saying you need to, build a regimen that you can stick to. That's something that's doable. Now, I get it. We all have different schedules. Some people like to work out early in the morning, like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, get ready for work. That may work for you. Not me. I rather work out in the afternoon after work. So Oscar's going to be in the gym between 4 and 6:30, maybe even 7 o'clock at night. That's just me. That works for me. So for you, find out what's going to work for you and stick to it. Don't go in there randomly or starting something random. So that's why I gave you some numbers. I said 30 minutes a day for 5 days, equivalent of 150 minutes a week. Again, we're not talking about how much calories you need to burn every day. This is just to get you started on a regimen. They said whatever you do consistently, at least for 21 days, becomes a habit. So I want you to take the next 21 days and develop a habit of exercise. You eliminate the excuses because you are going to find where you can have time to actually do it. Now, let's say you may do some squats. That's a part of strength training. And I didn't even mention about strength training. I was just giving you some basic things to start, but you can do some squats, some air squats. You can do some wall squats. That may be a lot for 30 minutes, but you're going to work on your legs. You can work on your upper body. You definitely want to do some strength and conditioning. And at some point, I'll talk to you guys more about why maintaining your muscle health is important, especially the older you get, because, you don't build, they say you don't build as much muscle strength as you get older, but I'm all about defying the norms. So I'm 49 now, but I don't look it. I look about 39. I'm happy about that. I thank God for it. In any case, so here's what I've done since June of 2021 when I got started on my fitness journey. So remember I told you when I was going to the gym, I was kind of random. I was all over the place until I got a hold of this free app by the Nike Training Club. I don't even know how. Yeah, that's right. I found it because I was just searching the Apple Store and the App Store. And I saw, okay, Nike Training Club. Let me see what this is about. And I was like, okay, is this like free for a trial? But no, it's 100% free. Till this day, this is what I use. And I like free, right? I don't mind paying for a program as long as the program is going to work. But the thing that I found is a lot of people spend a lot of money on fitness programs and trainers without giving themselves an option to look at to use the free options that they can exhaust. Because, some people need that discipline of having someone there to train them, to walk them through every process and whatnot. But for Oscar, I was like, okay, yes, I can hire a personal trainer, and personal trainers, if you're listening to this, don't hate me for saying this. I do know that there is a time and a place for personal training when you want to get to the next level. But for Oscar, I said, you know what? If I can't train myself, if I can't develop the mental consistency to affect my physical consistency, if I can't train myself, if I can't rely on my personal trainer, which is myself, then how can I rely on someone who is not going to be with me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? I'm with me 24 hours, 7 days a week. I'm with me all the time. I am my greatest motivator. I don't need a trainer to motivate me, to inspire me. Now, would it be nice? Maybe if I started, yes, but I didn't need it. So I'm not against getting a personal trainer. I do have some personal feelings about some things I see personal trainers do that are not helping their clients. So I said if I ever became a personal trainer, there's a lot of things that I would do differently. And some people on occasion ask me if I would train them, and I'm not even a personal trainer. So they see how I work out and they wonder if I'm a personal trainer. In any case, the Nike Training Club app is free. And I don't know if they have it on Android, but I know for the iPhone, they do have it. So when I was searching that program or that app, I saw that they had different trainers and they had different programs where you can watch. Let's say if you're trying to work on your cardio, they have programs that's just on cardio and it's all free. You know, they're not trying to upsell you anything later on or anything of that nature, which is what I liked. They had different formats for your workouts. And I was like, I really like that. Then I came across this guy. His name is Joe Holder. And Joe, he focuses on conditioning and strength. And I was like, whoa, that resonated with me because for a couple of things, you know, I knew that for me, when it comes to exercising, I wanted to, if I was going to follow someone, I wanted to follow a program that looks doable, looks realistic, and that I can relate to. When I look at Joe Holder, I said, you know what? I can relate to this guy. I like, you know, he has some introductory videos. I like how he was talking about the balance between health and nutrition in terms of exercise and nutrition. And I was like, okay, I like what this guy's talking about. So I watched a sample video of his and I'm like, okay, this whiteboard format, I can follow that. You know, okay, just show me what I need to do. I don't need to do a countdown, follow along video type style. That's not Oscar's thing. Just give me a list of things that I need to do, show me how to do it, and I'm good. So I've been following Joe Holder's program. He has 2, now 3 programs on the Nike Training Club app. But the first 2, one is a 6-week and one is an 8-week program. I've done each of those, I want to say 5 or 6 times around since June of 2021. And I can tell you with 100% certainty that his program helped me to build strength and conditioning. My heart health is phenomenal now. I can brag on it. And, you know, I'm not winded like I used to be. My endurance is up. And it's all because I followed a program that was doable. So I can't stress it enough. Now, there's another program I started following because I started learning about the importance of strength, right? And muscle building, not bulking up and trying to be a bodybuilder, but about sports performance and strength. So this guy named Ryan Flattery, he's also on the Nike Training Club app. And he focuses on sports performance and strength. You know, he used to play in the NFL, if I'm not mistaken, and due to injury, you know, he got into the sports performance and helping athletes to build strength to prevent injury and so forth. Because one thing I noticed with me, I was dealing with a lot of sciatic pain, which stemmed from me stretching the wrong way. You know, or let's say if I would twist my ankle just by hiking or walking, is because I didn't have strength in certain joints and ligaments and so forth. So I, till this day, work both Joe Holder's program and Ryan Flattery's. Ryan has a 6-week, I think it's 6 or 8 weeks of just performance. He does a lot of plyometrics, a lot of strength-based training. So between those two programs, I'm telling you, I've lost weight, but not only that, I've built my conditioning, my endurance, my strength, and my performance. Even though I'm not an athlete, I'm training like one. You never know. Hey, Puma, I've been saying it. You're going to endorse me one day. I'm going to have an affiliate connection with you one day. So if I have any Puma representative or any of my listeners, if you all are connected to anybody at Puma, tell them to follow me at thebeatingdiabetieslifestyle.com. I'm on social media too, so Facebook and Instagram. So y'all hit me up, Puma. We need to talk. I wear a lot of your gear, so we need to talk. My followers are growing, so you need to get on this early. Any case, I'm going to wrap this up, but I want to leave you with some recommendations and on some steps that I think you need to take. And hopefully you found some value in the things that I've shared, and just know my heart is with you all when it comes to your journey. So here's step number 1. Know your why. Know why you're doing what you're doing. Why is it that you want to lose weight? Why is it that you want to be healthy? Why is it that you want to exercise? Why is it that you want to eat healthy? Why is it that you want to live and maintain a healthy lifestyle? You have to know your why, because your why will be your fuel that's necessary in those times when you feel like your tank is running low and you don't feel like going to the gym, you don't feel like biking, you don't feel like rowing, you don't feel like doing any exercise at all, and you just feel down because you looked at the scale and the scale only moved a little bit in the right direction, or maybe it went in the wrong direction, and you're like, man, and you feel gassed emotionally. But knowing your why will keep you motivated. There are times where I stepped on the scale and I'm like, man, it looks like I hit a plateau. I remember I hit a plateau around 220 or 225 pounds. I was like, man, no matter what I'm doing, it just seems like I'm not losing any more weight. But I had to remind myself, why, Oscar, you're in this. You're in this to reverse type 2 diabetes, which I later learned that you can. My why was, hey, I'm not going back into the hospital. My why was, I want to live a long, healthy, strong life and be an example to my kids. Why? I want to be an example to my family of what it means to stay focused, to keep moving, to never go back, to leap forward, to bounce back, and how to trust God. That was my why. Number 2, set realistic expectations, folks. Don't do something because somebody else is doing it. And even the stuff that I share that I'm doing, just because I work out an hour and a half a day, every day, hour and a half in the gym every day, doesn't mean you have to make that your goal. Do what's doable and realistic for you, because I don't want you to do something that's not going to work for you. And then you end up giving up and quitting within 2 weeks because it's just too hard. So do something that's realistic. Remember, start small, gradually grow to where you're fit. Remember, your frequency, your intensity, and your time grows, but just do it gradually. Set yourself up for success with small victories. Celebrate those small victories. That was number 3. Number 4, make it fun. Number 5, forget the old days of when you were in high school and you were buff and you had a 6-pack or whatnot. Forget your cheerleader days. Those days are gone. You're not a cheerleader anymore. You probably still are in your mind, but hey, forget the good old days. Look ahead. Look at what's before you, not what's in the rearview mirror. You're not there anymore. You have greater things ahead of you. Number 6. So that was number 5. Forget the old days. Number 6, set boundaries around your decision to live healthy. You see, sometimes when we don't have boundaries, it's so easy to get off track. It's so easy to lose sight of our decisions to live healthy if we don't have boundaries. So if that means you have to restrict yourself to only drinking water for the next 21 days, I've issued a 21-day challenge of no soda, no fruit juices, No alcohol, no coffee, no sugary drinks, no sports drinks, no energy drinks, all of that. So sometimes you have to set boundaries around your decisions and do stuff like that and challenge yourself so you can build habits and a regimen of a healthy lifestyle. Same thing with, hey, if you're deciding to exercise and make it a wholesale decision, for the next 21 days nonstop, hey, I'm going to go to the gym and work out. So set your boundaries and say, you know what, no matter what, unless it's an emergency, I am going to go to the gym or I'm going to go outside and walk. Exercising after you eat, after every meal, not just dinner. I'm even talking about after breakfast, after lunch, after dinner, taking a 10-minute walk will make a difference. Lastly, number 7, evaluate your progress and be willing to adjust along the way. So again, number 7, evaluate your progress. You have to do that on an ongoing basis and be willing to adjust along the way. So folks, that is it for this week's episode. I went a little longer than normal, but there's a lot of information to cover. So hopefully you got something out of this. Please don't hesitate to share this content with your loved ones because you know what? I'm pretty sure you know someone who's pre-diabetic, diabetic, or just someone who needs to turn their life around, just like you're making a decision to turn your life and health around, that can use this podcast and use the information that I share. So as always, I want you to stay focused, keep moving, never go back, leap forward, bounce back because you can, my friend. And most of all, trust God. I believe in you. You got this. Catch you next time on the Beating Diabetes Lifestyle Podcast. Be sure to visit the website at www.beatingdiabetieslifestyle.com for access to free resources and other information that will help you along your journey. If you would like to submit a question or a comment about the show or to learn more about the Beating Diabetes Lifestyle, you can always email me at hello@beatingdiabetieslifestyle.com. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to this podcast.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to the Beating Diabetes Lifestyle Podcast with Oscar Camejo. We hope you enjoyed this episode. As a reminder, this podcast is intended for motivational and educational purposes only. It is not a substitute for professional care by a physician or other healthcare professional or qualified fitness instructor. This podcast is provided on the understanding that it does not constitute medical or professional advice or services. If you're looking for help on your journey, seek a qualified medical practitioner. It's important that you utilize someone who is a trained, licensed healthcare professional who can help you on your journey toward good health.